today's video, we're going to be going over the Calgary real estate market update for the month of April. We're going to be going over various amounts of stats, including sales, pricing, inventory, days on market, and much more to help you understand what is currently going on in the Calgary real estate market. Hello, my name is Ryan, and I'm a local real estate agent here in Calgary. And if you learned anything from this video, all I ask from you is that you subscribe. And if you're wanting to get a hold of me one-on-one and to have a private conversation, you can contact me in the first link in the description and set a time that is best for you. So let's get right into this, and to provide you a little bit of context what is currently going on, here's a quote from our chief economist over at CREB, and she said, "While supply levels are still declining, much of the decline has been by lower priced homes. Homes priced below $500,000 have reported a 29% decline. Meanwhile, we are seeing supply growth in homes priced above $700,000. Persistently high interest rates are driving demand towards more affordable products in the market, and at the same time are driving listing growth for higher priced opportunities." I've said this countless many times before, is that as prices continue to go up and interest rates stay high, people are going to be looking at much more affordable options. And as we go along, you're going to see different property types that are available in certain price brackets to help you understand what you could buy in various communities. So to give an overview of what has happened last month in April, the sales were 2,881, which is an increase of 7.3% year over year. New listings rose by 11.5% year over year to 3,491. However, the inventory is down 2,711, which is a 16.2% decrease, and the months of supply continues to be under that 1 month at 0.94, which is a decrease of almost 22. Now, if you're wondering what that 0.94 would look like in days, in a month time, you're looking at around 28, 29 days. So there's not a lot of inventory currently on the market, and that basically means that if we didn't list anything from here on out, it would take roughly 29 days to sell out of completely everything that is currently available. And if we do an overview of what our pricing is doing, Calgary has officially gone over $600,000 for the benchmark pricing overall, at a total of $603,700, which is an increase of 10% year over year. And if you look at the individual property types, they are all up significantly year over year, with detached pricing at under $750,000. That is up 13%. Semi-detached is up almost 13% as well at $668,000. And row townhouse, which is one of our busiest markets right now, is up a whopping 20%, just over $458,000. And the apartment market, again, having a great rebound right now at $346,000 at almost an 18% increase year over year. And even if we look at the community district map of what different communities are doing, you can see that it is still consistently green all around, with most places being up over 11%. But as you can see, the northeast and the east is continuing to be our biggest drivers in this market at over 22%, over 16%. And this is simply because those are where a lot more of those affordable options are. And that's where a lot of people are having to gravitate to in order to get themselves in this home in this competitive market and high interest rates. And now we're going to look at three more stats here that you might find interesting. And one of them is the sales to new listing ratio, which is at 82.5%. Now what that means is basically 82.5% of homes that were listed in the month of April also sold in the month of April. So it's quite fast moving that homes are selling. And to even put this point even further, the average days on market is at 20 days, which is 4 days less than the same time last year. And for the third consecutive month in a row, the sales to list price ratio is at 101.89%. Now, essentially what that means is it is a per 100,000, meaning that for every $100,000 that a home is listed for, it is currently getting at city average an additional $1,890. Now, before we move on into individual pricing, I want to continue to show you exactly what the community districts are doing for each individual property type. And as you can see over this list here, there was only one community in one property type that had negative growth month over month, and that was the North District for semi-detached homes, and it had a negative growth of 0.17%. However, overall, most communities in most property types had an increase of at least 1.26% or over 2%. So again, we are still continuing to see positive growth in most areas of the city in most property types. Now to go on to the individual property types of what is happening in the Calgary market, we're going to start with detached home, which is generally our most biggest contributor to the sales in all of Calgary. Sales for the month were 1,321, with new listings just having over 1,600, and the inventory rose to about 1,200 homes, but the days on market fell 1 day month over month, and that benchmark pricing did rose by almost $10,000 month over month to $749,000. Now the month of supply in detached homes is still under that 1 month at 0.92, and in a given month the sales to new listing ratio is about 81% of homes are selling within the month, and the sale to list price ratio is just over 102% at 102.15, meaning that homes per 1,000 are gaining about $2,150 per $100,000. And if you look at what price ranges are the most competitive and that are most active in terms of sales, you are again looking at that $500,000 to $800,000 price range, which again, I did mention that homes under that 700 are very competitive, and homes that are over that 700 are starting to slow a little bit with more price growth, but they are still quite active. Moving on to the apartment market. Now, this is a busy market for Calgary and is having a fantastic rebound. For a long time that the Calgary market for apartments just wasn't in demand, but now that home prices are continuing to go up, buyers are looking at more affordable options, which is the apartment property type. And I'll show you in a little bit what that 10-year average is currently looking like. But to start, the sales were 822, new listings were 1,050, inventory at 951, and the days on market remain the same from last month at 20, but still quite low. And the days on market again almost rose by $10,000 to $346,000 is the benchmark price. Now the month of supply is over that 1 month at 1.16, but is still not quite a lot. And the sales to new listing ratio is at that 78.29%. And the sale to list price ratio is just over 100%, meaning that apartment owners are getting exactly what they are asking for. And even more interesting, if you look at April over a 10-year average, this is the best April that the apartment has had in the last 10 years for both sales and new listings. And in fact, for the past 3 years, the apartment market has been doing quite well. As you can see from the years prior at 2015 all the way to 2021, apartment sales were actually below that 10-year average. So if you are an apartment owner and you are looking to sell your apartment, now would be probably a good time, as the demand is still very much there for these apartments. And to even show you further proof that buyers are wanting more affordable options, the most busy market in terms of price ranges is between that $250,000 to $400,000 range. Now the semi-detached market, not as a busy market, but not necessarily because the demand isn't there, but simply because the supply isn't there as much. Sales were only 255, which is still a lot higher than what we have seen this year so far. New listings did rise to 94, and the inventory currently sits at 208, with the days on market still sitting at the 22, and the benchmark price almost rose $11,000 to $668,400. Now again, there isn't a lot of homes to be buying in the semi-detached market, but the more popular price ranges are currently between that $450,000 to $700,000, more like the $650,000 more than anything. Again, this is simply because as single family home prices get expensive, they do go down to the semi-detached, and then they go down into townhome, and then they move down into apartment. In fact, as we continue to look further into the semi-detached market, the month of supply is still sitting under 1 month. Sales to new listing ratio is just shy of 87%, and the sales to list price ratio is over 102%. Now, our last property type is the row townhouse market, which I have been very bullish on for quite a long time. Again, as I mentioned, as home prices and interest rates are remaining high, buyers are having to move to different property types in different price ranges, and the townhouse market is very popular just for what it's able to provide in terms of space. Sometimes you get a garden and things like that. Give you an idea, sales were 483, new listings were 518, inventory was 338, and the days on market were at 19, and the benchmark price rose again by almost $10,000 to $458,000. The more active price ranges for this are the $300,000 to about the $600,000 range. And as we continue on this year, I continue to see that townhomes are going to be the most popular property type here in Calgary in terms of sales, and the pricing is going to continue to rise. Again, as we saw year over year, the pricing for the benchmark for townhomes has risen already 20%. And even further, the months of supply is at 0.70%. It is the lowest out of all the property types in Calgary. The sales to new listing ratio is at a very high number at 93.24%. So a very high percentage of townhomes are selling in that month. And the sales to list price ratio is the highest out of all the property types at 103.21%. A lot of demand for townhomes and a lot of opportunity to maximize that townhome investment if you are interested in selling. Now that we have a lot of these stats out of the way, what does that mean for you as a buyer or a seller? If you are a buyer, the market continues to be very competitive and prices are continuing to rise. You see, in this market today, you need to have a strategy, which is getting your financing in order so that you know exactly what you can afford, where you can buy, and what property type you can buy. And in the case that you do go into multiple offers, that this is going to help you because you can keep conditions a little bit shorter and a little bit tighter to make you look more attractive to the seller. Strategy is going to be the biggest thing when finding a home. And as well, a lot of buyers are waiting for those interest rates to go down, but in my opinion, home prices in Calgary are increasing faster month over month than what that interest rate is going to save you at its current peak. And in fact, we don't even really know when the interest rates are going to fall. There is rumor that it is going to be June, but that is not even set in stone. And if you're a seller right now, you can maximize your investment incredibly, especially if you're someone in the apartment or townhome market who is potentially wanting to maximize their investment if you are an investor or potentially looking to move up. You see, if you own a townhome or an apartment and you are looking to move into a single family home, especially over that $700,000 price range, we are starting to see a lot more listings for those $700,000 single family homes, and there's still a ton of demand for apartments and townhomes. So if this is something that you're interested in and you're looking to move up in a home, now might be a really good time, as we are still seeing a lot of demand and we probably are still going to see it throughout the entire year. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did learn anything from this video, make sure that you click subscribe. And if you are wanting to contact me, all my contact information is down in the description. But until then, I look forward to seeing you the next video. Take care.